It started on a Thursday night around 8:15 p.m., sometime in late October. I remember because it was already getting colder, and I had that nervous feeling you get before meeting someone for the first time. I matched with her on a dating app about a week before. Her name was Alina. She seemed normal. Not overly talkative, not dry either. Just average. We decided to meet at a small diner just off a highway about 20 minutes from my apartment. It wasn't exactly romantic, but it was public, well-lit, and felt safe for a first meeting. I got there early, parked under a flickering light, and sat in my car scrolling through my phone while waiting. She texted me at exactly 8:17 saying, "I'm here." I looked up, expecting to see someone walking toward the diner, but there was no one outside. Then I noticed a car parked 2 spaces down from me. Its engine was running, headlights off. The passenger doors slowly opened, and she stepped out. She didn't wave or smile. Just closed the door and walked straight to the entrance. Something about that moment felt off. I brushed it off and followed her inside. We sat across from each other in a booth near the window. She barely made eye contact at first, just kept glancing behind me every few seconds, like she was checking if someone was there. I even turned around once, but there was nothing, just a couple of other people eating quietly. When I asked if everything was okay, she gave a small smile and said, "Yeah. I just don't like sitting with my back to doors." It sounded reasonable, so I let it go. We ordered food, and the conversation slowly started to feel normal. She talked about her job, her hobbies, even joked a little. But every few minutes, her phone would light up, and she'd quickly glance at it without replying. I noticed the same contact name popping up over and over again. No profile picture, just a number. After the 4th or 5th time, I asked, half joking, "Someone really wants your attention?" She hesitated, then said, "It's nothing, just someone who doesn't know how to take a hint." She turned her phone face down after that, but her legs started shaking under the table. I could see it. That nervous energy hadn't gone away, it was just buried under her trying to act normal. About 30 minutes in, while we were halfway through eating, her phone rang again. This time, it wasn't just a notification, it was a call. The sound made her freeze for a second. She stared at the screen like she was deciding something important, then stood up and said, "I need to take this. I'll be right back." She walked out of the diner quickly, almost rushing. I watched her through the window. She answered the call immediately, and started pacing near the same car she came from. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but her body language changed completely. She wasn't calm anymore. She kept looking around, like she was making sure no one was close enough to hear. Then she suddenly stopped pacing and turned her head slowly, looking directly at my car. That's when I felt something in my chest drop. Because the interior light of my car flicked on for a split second, like someone had just opened the door, and then it went dark again. I sat there for a second trying to convince myself I imagined it. Maybe it was the reflection from the diner lights, or just my nerves getting to me. But I couldn't shake the feeling. My keys were in my pocket, and I was sure I had locked the car when I got out. I remember pressing the button twice, hearing that distinct click. Still, something didn't feel right. I got up slowly, trying not to draw attention, and stepped outside. The cold air hit immediately, and everything felt quieter than it should have been. Alina was still on the phone, her back turned now, speaking in a low, rushed voice. I walked past her without saying anything and headed toward my car. Each step felt heavier, like my body already knew something I didn't want to accept. When I got to the driver's side, I stopped. The door wasn't fully shut. It was slightly open, just enough to leave a thin gap. My stomach dropped. I reached for the handle and pulled it open slowly, half expecting someone to be sitting inside. But the seat was empty. Everything looked normal at first, nothing out of place, nothing stolen. I leaned in, checking the back seat quickly. Empty. Then I noticed something that made my skin crawl. The glove compartment was open. I never leave it open. Inside, all my papers were still there, but they had clearly been moved around. It wasn't messy, just disturbed. Like someone had gone through them carefully. I shut it slowly and stepped back, scanning the area. The parking lot was mostly empty. Just a few cars scattered around, engines off, no one inside. The diner windows reflected everything back at me, making it harder to see beyond the glass. That's when I heard the car engine behind me start. I turned around quickly. It was the same car Alina had arrived in. The headlights flicked on, blinding me for a second. I raised my hand to block the light and saw her rushing toward it, still holding her phone. She opened the passenger door and got in without looking at me. The car didn't move right away. It just sat there, engine running, headlights aimed directly at me. I felt frozen, like I was waiting for something to happen. Then, slowly, the driver's side window rolled down just a few inches. I couldn't see the person inside clearly, just a silhouette. A man's voice came from the car, low and controlled. "Did she tell you anything?" I didn't respond at first, my mind trying to process what was happening. He spoke again, a little sharper this time. "Did she say anything about me?" I shook my head instinctively and said, "No. I don't even know what you're talking about." There was a pause. I could feel Alina looking at me from inside the car, but I didn't turn to meet her eyes. The man let out a quiet breath, almost like he was relieved, and said, "Good." The window rolled back up. For a second, nothing happened. Then the car slowly pulled out of the parking spot and drove off without another word. I stood there watching it disappear onto the highway, my heart still racing. When I finally went back inside, the booth was exactly how we left it, her food untouched, her drink still half full. But her phone was still sitting on the table, face down, vibrating quietly as another call came in from that same unknown number.